Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a what sold video. So this week was Black Friday, which was really good for me. I had 40 sales on Black Friday. I had another 30 sales on Cyber Monday because I ran crazy sales in my closet. I'm not going to be going over all those items just because that's like too much. A lot of it was bread and butter. A lot of it was stuff that was sitting in my closet for a few months and it's finally gone. And I love that. Black Friday is like one of my favorite days of the year because I always do 50% off my closet. It's just like a really good day to clear out stuff. But I just chose 13 sales from the past week, whether they like sold really quickly, they're a BOLO brand, a BOLO style, something you shouldn't pick up. I just chose these ones to talk about. Some of these are my Black Friday ones, and some of them are just normal sales throughout the week. So we're going to go over my Poshmark sales first, starting with this one. This is the Glamorized Elegance Wonder Wire Front Closed Lace Full Coverage Bra. This took one day to sell, sold super quickly. I went to a thrift store. I found like a plethora of like plus size bras, like everything from like 44D to like 40G, 40F, like all those types of sizes, which usually sell pretty well for me. And this one in particular sold really pretty well. It took one day to sell. I didn't know what this brand was. I just kind of looked up comps super quickly. And I'm not someone who's very well versed in bras, and I've never been well versed in bras. So when I find brands that are good to resell, I like to share them just because if you're at the bins and you find this is a great ROI. Sold for $20. I don't remember if there was a shipping discount involved. So either my payout was $16 or $14.50 if I did offers to likers. And one tip I have about bras is always include the style if you can. So like this brand, for example, has 4-digit style numbers, which makes it so easy to list and so easy to look up, like all this stuff. Like I don't know that it's called the Elegance Wonder Wire Front Closed Lace Full Coverage Bra. I just went into my Google search, I typed in glamorize, I typed in the style number 1246, and this came up, and that was able to give me the title and all this information. And yeah, then I just write it right here because some people like they find a brand, they find a bra, they find a size that fits them well. And if it's expensive, they're going to go on the resale market to buy more of them. But as long as they know the style that fits them and the style that they like, they will be searching by that. And on here, you could see the style was right here, Glamorize 1246, and that just made it super easy to list. So if you're at the bins and you see this brand, I definitely recommend picking it up. The next sale we're going to be going over are these BOSBO tan leather slingback open toe heels. These sold for $37. These were part of my Black Friday deal. So whatever 37, add another 37 on top of that. That's what I had them originally listed at. So yeah, these I listed in August. They sold the end of November. And these, I don't know, the brand wasn't very well known to me. I looked up comps. They seem to have decent comps on them, but they have one style that they're really known for, and that is their clogs. So you can see here's all of these solds from this brand. If you see the heels, they're selling in the $20 to the max $44 range, but most of them are selling for about $30. Now, if you have a pair of clogs by this brand, they are selling for so much more because this specific style, I think, is what they're really known for. So here's a pair that sold for 80, here's a pair that sold for 70, and then there's more over here. We have a pair that sold for 95. We have a pair that sold for 48. So yeah, I do recommend picking up this brand, especially if you find it in the clogs. Some of the heels can get money. As you can see, these heels sold for 75, but then these ones sold for 10, these ones sold for 10, these sold for 30. So really, I think your safest bet is the clogs. And these shoes are really interesting. They're made in France. They have like this weird sole to them. So like if you could see on my listing here, they call it a flexible wooden sole. Like right here is like a foam almost. I don't know. It's really weird. I believe that they're handmade shoes as well, as you can see like all the like staples right here. But yeah, if you find it, pick it up. If you find a pair of clogs, always look up your own comps before like spending money paying up for anything. But this is the label. If you see it, it'll say BOSBO, and then it'll also say made in France. The next sale we're going to be going over is this Address the Population dress. This one was called the Lucina Black Popcorn dress. This took almost 2 years to sell. I listed it March of 2020, and it sold on Black Friday. November 26, 2021. And so take 28, double it. That was my original listing price, but I believe I had it priced even higher than that. I think when I first listed it, I listed it around $85. And the reason for that is I bought this dress at a consignment store for me to wear to a charity event. I wore it to that charity event. And then I was like, okay, let me just try to make all my money back on the dress. So it's kind of like I wore it for free, or I wore it for free plus made a bit of a profit. I don't remember what I paid at the store. So but I'm gonna assume selling it for $28. I didn't fully make my money back. I probably made a majority of my money back, but that's okay. Again, it was for me. But I really wanted to highlight this sale specifically because Dress the Population is sold at Nordstrom Rack. It's also sold, and it's sold at Nordstrom Rack because it's really sold at regular Nordstrom. It's an expensive brand. They also have their own website as well. And I have heard people call this a quote unquote BOLO brand, which is why I have it in quotations. But I'm just going to tell you, if you find this at the thrift store, if you're in a position where you might have to pay up for this brand, don't be brand blind. Look up styles. If you notice on all the people who list these, oh, that's not what we're going over first. If you notice all the people that list these dresses, they always have, and even me, have the style name. So we have the Corey dress, the Raquel dress, the Lola dress, holiday sequence. Okay, I guess she doesn't have the style, but this one, the Ada dress. So you really need to know the style name. And of course, everyone's using stock photos to list these. You're not technically supposed to use stock photos. I use them on Poshmark. I don't use them on Mercari or on eBay because you can get your accounts like completely wiped if you like do use those. Like I think eBay will suspend your account. Eventually they will like just deactivate your account and like you can't sell on there anymore. Mercari, I've heard of people getting their accounts deactivated, just like shut down without anything for using stock photos. Poshmark doesn't seem to do that, but they are a use at your own risk. But yeah, if most of the people selling these have a style name, they're using stock photos. And even still, the solds are kind of all over the place. Like this dress, for example, sold for $160. That's great, right? This one sold for $155. 125, but then you also have a new with tags one that sold for 25, a new with tags that sold for 50, one that sold for 42. So the comps are definitely all over the place. It really depends on the style, and it also depends on the condition. So I went on eBay and I just searched Dress the Population sold listings, and there's 969 sold listings in Dress the Population in the past 90 days. If we then filter it by new with tags, you can see now there's 782 of those solds were new with tags. So about 80% of the items that are selling are new with tags, which I believe most people are finding this brand retail arbitrage, like at Nordstrom Rack and reselling it and also they're getting it in like their Nordstrom liquidation pallets. So if you have a used one, it's going to be a harder sell because if you look down here in used condition, there's 184 that sold within the past 90 days, which is still good. But when you compare that to that, there's 969 overall sold, that number is not so good anymore. Now, if we look at the 782 number and we filter by over $75, because if it's selling for over $75, I would consider that to be a BOLO brand. About 423 of them have sold over $75. And then we go down here. If you have a used one and you are not going to really be able to sell it for over $75. So out of the 184 used Dress the Population pieces, only 41 of them sold for over $75. So if you find it in used condition, I would not recommend paying up for it. If you can find it for like $5 or less, yeah, pick it up. I would recommend getting it. But if you're in a position where you're going to have to pay up for it, if you find it at a consignment store or something, don't recommend. If you find it retail arbitrage, it should be a little easier because you're going to have the tag on it, right? It's going to be new with tags to look up the style name and see if it's worth picking up. But I do hear people call this a BOLO brand, so I just wanted to show you all the facts before you pay up for it. The next item we're going to be going over is this Max Mara olive green genuine leather suede skirt. Yeah, this is another like not a BOLO brand, but it's an expensive brand, right? Expensive brands does not equal BOLO brand. And if you don't know what BOLO brand means, because I use that term a lot, it stands for be on the lookout for, meaning it's a brand that is going to sell really high dollar and really consistently for a high dollar amount. This one sold for 32, so double that. That was my Black Friday sale. So I think I listed this around $65. And as you can see, it almost took a full year to sell. I listed it in December 7th, 2020, and it took till Black Friday 50% off offer to even sell it, right? And I had purchased this and I had purchased another Max Mara skirt when this is it. And as you can see, I had sent out 50% offers on this one as well. Nobody purchased this one. I sent out another sale on it on Cyber Monday, 60 off. Still nobody bought this piece. This I listed the same day, like December 7th, 2020. I bought two of these skirts, right? I bought the suede one, I bought this wool one. They were $8 each. They were $16 in total for two skirts, which was just not a good use of my money, not a good use of my capital. That $16 could have went to like a pair of Lululemon leggings at Clothes Mentor, right? That I could have flipped for $70. But instead, I bought these two skirts that have been sitting forever. So Max Mara, yes, it retails for a crazy amount of money. It's a really expensive brand, but not every piece is going to make you money or even sell. So here is an example of a Max Mara piece you want to find. If you find a Max Mara coat, yes, that is worth paying up for. Look at this. The most recent sold for a Max Mara coat is $1,500. That's insane. We have this one, which is more of like a teddy coat, not like as nice as like a trench coat. This one sold for $275. We have another like trench coat, $500, $175. $625, and these two sold for $150. This one sold for $200. So if you find their coats, yes, pick them up all day. You might have to sit on them because yes, you're going to be getting a higher amount for them, but you're actually going to be getting a good amount of money for them instead of sitting on it forever and then eventually selling it for $30. And then here's an example. I recently went to the thrift store. I found a pair of Max Mara jeans and I just left them behind. I didn't even bother to look up the comps on them. And then when I got home, for the purpose of this, I did look up the comps on it and like, look what they're selling for, $30, $19, $20. This person is lucky and she got $50, right? Like that's not worth me paying $8 at a Goodwill for these jeans. So I found them and I think a past me would have just been like, oh my God, Max Mara, expensive brand, let's pick it up. But that's just, it's not worth it, right? Just because it's expensive does not mean it's going to sell well. The next item we're going to go over is this Aluka cream and navy blue striped lag and look jacket. This was listed beginning of August, sold on Black Friday. So I had this listed at $45, sold half off at $22, and with a shipping discount. And for my shipping discount Black Friday, I did $5.95 shipping discount, which is the $1.50 shipping discount. And I really wanted to highlight this sale because although this one didn't sell amazing, if you look at the solds by this brand, Luca, you can actually make pretty good money with this brand. And I don't think it's one that people know a lot about. And a really great keyword for this brand is lag and look, or like here I said oversized boxy fit. So here are some solds on this brand. So if you do find it, I do like recommend like looking it up just to see if you want to like pay up for it or like what your thrift store wants for it will make you a profit. So like this one right over here sold for $80. These new tag pants sold for $118. This basic little shirt sold for $49. So there's definitely money to be made in this brand. Like if you look at all the comps here, the lowest one is 30, right? I sold mine for 22, but again, I was doing a special sale. And also mine was did have a flaw on it. It did have a stain on it, which I did note in the description, which I'm just kind of covering right now. But yeah, if you find this brand, I definitely think it's worth like looking up at least because if you found these pair of pants right here, yeah, that would definitely be worth picking up, right? And this is what the brand tag looks like in case you were unfamiliar. It really just kind of looks like a boutique brand. I have certainly never heard of it before. I found it once and I just thought I would share. The next sale, let's see. The next sale we're going to go over is this Marnie Black Cat Sketch Drawing Print Casual Tank Top. This sold for $35 and that was like an offer to me. So my payout was $28. It took 3 days to sell. I sold a Marnie piece last week. I went over it last week and I listed the dress at $100. It sold for $70 and it was flawed. And that was a really amazing sell. I think it sold in like 2 or 3 days, similar to this piece. If you find this brand Marnie, definitely worth picking up. It seems to sell pretty quickly and for a good dollar amount. $35 is not comparable to $70, but also this is just a basic cotton tank top, whereas the other one was like a nice dress, right? So like obviously for a tank top, you're not going to be making as much money, but $35 for a tank top in general is a pretty good sale in my opinion, because most tank tops sell in the $18 range just because tank tops are less fabric, so they don't retail for as much, so they're not going to resell for as much. This one actually had a flaw as well on it. So this one, the hem was becoming unsewn. As you can see right here, this is where the hem is intact, and then here is the opposite side where it's just unsewn. So it's not like a serious flaw. Someone who has great sewing skills can sew that and it would be fine. But I think I originally listed this at 50. Someone offered me 35. I took it. And right here, these are some keywords I used for it: artsy and art to wear. And those are keywords I actually used for the other dress as well. So I'm thinking that's like a consistent theme within the brand, that they're very artsy and art to wear. And again, those are good keywords to be using because of the cat print there. Okay, the next Poshmark sale we're going to be going over is this Bit and Brittle blue and brown Western Mountain Aztec flannel shacket shirt jacket in a size extra large. This was a full price sale, sold for my full asking price of $30. It took 3 days to sell. Super happy with that. Also, my photo editing app like updated I use PicTapGo, and they updated their whole app, and look how amazing this photo came out. So they did this new feature on it called Auto Mask, where it basically identifies the item versus the background, and you're able to edit the brightness of the background without editing the item itself. and that's how I'm able to get these super white backgrounds now on my new items because, yeah, they updated their app and it's really amazing. It's called Pick Tap Go, so if you are interested in it, you should definitely look it up. So, I don't know, I think it costs money. I believe it costs money. I think it was like $3 or something. I could be wrong though. So yeah, I wanted to go over this sale because shackets are really in right now. Shirt jackets. I'm wearing one right now. Um, yeah, these are really on trend. They're basically just like really heavy shirts that could be worn as jackets, right? Like they're great for layering. You could wear them as a long sleeve button down, like how it's shown in the photo, or you could wear it open with a tank top underneath or something underneath. They're just really great for layering. They're really in this fall and winter season. So I always make sure to include that keyword shacket because that is something that people are looking up. But then I also make sure to include the word shirt jacket it separately as well because not maybe everybody knows that keyword shacket. So I try to have both there so people can find it either way. And I looked up the solds on this. I got this at the bins, I believe, and I looked up the solds on it. There's only one sold, and it sold for $25. Mine was able to sell for 30. Maybe I just had a good buyer. Maybe my photos and my keywords were better. Not sure, but I was able to sell it for a little bit more. So Bit and Brittle, I don't know if it's a brand that I would really be picking up consistently, but I really just picked it up based on the style and the seasonality of it. The next item The next item we're going to be going over are these LF first of a kind Levi's light wash distressed denim high rise jean shorts. These sold for my full asking price of $30. These did not have a size tag, so I'm surprised they sold so quickly. They took 2 days to sell. And usually when things don't have a size tag, it makes it harder for them to sell, especially because right here I say no size tag, size and titles based on measurements included in description. Please check measurements because the store does not accept returns due to fit. So I feel like when you're saying like, oh, you just have to like buy it and kind of hope it fits you because I don't accept returns, it is a harder sell. So I really try to stay away from things without size tags, but this one I didn't realize didn't have a size tag until I got home, but again, still sold in 2 days, which is amazing. And LF is a very expensive store. They have just like very like grunge, distress, like hipster, like I don't know, just like very stuff that like college girls are wearing, high school girls are wearing, except it's like $200 for something, right? Like these shorts were definitely retailed for like 100 or more dollars. So First of a Kind is one of their brands, but not all First of a Kind pieces are made equal. I have a First of a Kind piece. I forgot to screenshot it. I should have included it, but it's just basically a bandeau top. It's kind of like a patchwork bandeau top. I listed it at $30. It's still sitting. It's not moving. It's barely getting likes on it. But these first of kind shorts that I picked up sold within 2 days. So it really depends on the style. So like here are some solds on eBay by this brand. As you can see, like this shirt would definitely be worth picking up, right? Sold for $55. This one sold for $39. Definitely worth picking up. This one right here, $125. Definitely worth picking up. But then you have pieces like this one, just like this long sleeve polo type of shirt, sold for $12. That was probably one you want to leave behind. Or this like eagle one sold for $18, probably one you would want to leave behind. So if you find it at the thrift store, definitely try to look up specific comps on the style to see if it's really worth picking up because some of them are in a great price range and you can make $30+ on it, and then other ones you're going to sell for like $10 to $12. And these are just some more sold by the brand. So here's like my exact jean shorts that I sold. This person sold theirs for 25. I was able to sell mine for $5 more. But also you can see there's a difference in the pictures, right? Hers is just kind of spread out on the bed sheet. Mine has a nice bright white background, nice bright white photos. The item's more clear. So sometimes your photos really do help you get more money if you have like a more professional look to them and people can see the item very clearly. It looks like you're taking care of the item. You can get a little bit more money for the item. And then here, like this one sold for $12. This sold for under 50. This sold for under 62. This one over here sold for 40. So yeah, this would be worth picking up, but maybe that one wouldn't be worth picking up. So again, just always do your research before buying. The next sale we're going to go over are these lamb black and red plaid ruche lace up heeled booties. This brand is amazing. I love finding this brand. This took a little bit of time to sell. So I listed it May 30th. They sold right before Thanksgiving. And I don't, the turnaround time is a-okay with me. When I bought these, I bought them for $15 at a consignment store. I flipped them for $55. I knew when I bought them that they weren't going to sell until fall winter time just because look at them. Like I knew these weren't going to sell in summer. They're a black suede boot with a gray and red plaid flannel like look to them. These aren't summer shoes, but I bought them in summertime and they sold in fall as expected. But yeah, this brand is definitely one worth picking up because Lamb was created by Gwen Stefani, but she doesn't like make that clothing brand anymore. The clothing brand has been discontinued, but it still has a pretty strong following to it. So this is one piece I've sold by them, and this is another piece. Some of the pieces are worth really good money. So this is it's called Where Did the Lamb Go? And it was a cashmere hoodie. It was a zip front cashmere hoodie. I was able to sell it for $150, and I picked this up at the bins. And of course, it was a really special piece because Gwen Stefani had worn it on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. So, and especially with Y2K making a resurgence, I probably could have got more money for this had I waited. But I had found this in 2019, so I couldn't predict the future. But if I found this now, I could probably get even above 150 for the piece. So if you find this, I would definitely recommend looking it up, depending like how much your thrift store wants for it, because you can sell it for really good money. The next item we're going to be going over is this a vintage Y2K brown leopard animal print beaded lace silk camisole top. This sold on eBay. It took 1 month to sell, sold for $18. And I just wanted to show this to you because I just posted my fashion aesthetics video where I go over cottagecore, dark and light academia, and Y2K, which in my opinion are the biggest fashion aesthetics and the biggest keywords to be using right now. And this is just an example of using the keywords and selling the item. If you notice in my title, I never once mentioned the brand of this shirt. I think the brand was called Central Park West, but that was irrelevant. That wasn't important. Nobody's going to be searching for Central Park West. What they are going to be searching for is vintage Y2K tank top, lace silk camisole, beaded camisole, leopard print, animal print. So I made sure to use all the keywords and I omitted the brand because I knew that wasn't really relevant to the piece. I did put the brands in the description. I don't know how eBay search works. I don't know if it just goes based off the title. But I know in Poshmark it goes based off the title and the description. So if someone was specifically searching for that brand, yes, they would have found it because it was also included in my description. But if they were just searching like Y2K beaded lace silk camisole, it also would have came up as well. Now we're moving on to my Mercari sales. So the first Mercari sale, we're going to be going over these See By Connie K gray lag and look wide leg pull-on pants, and then I included the keyword artsy. These sold in one day. I listed them at $45. They sold for $36. Super happy with this. I believe I got these at the bins, if I'm not mistaken. They took one day to sell for $36. That's amazing. And I really just wanted to show you this because of all the keywords that I use, and I really think that helps sell the item. So Mercari is weird. They don't really show you the full photo anymore, so you can't really see what they look like. But lag and look was a great keyword for this brand. I don't always use lag and look when talking about See By Connie K. Mainly my keywords for See By Connie K are art to wear and artsy. But because of the style of these pants, lag and look was also a good descriptor. Pull-on pants are another, like, pull-on is another great keyword, especially when you're talking about lag and look. People who are wearing lag and look, they want really like oversized boxy fits, maybe they aren't like the most slender. They like to have like a pull-on style, not something that's going to butt and zip and just be uncomfortable, right? Like a pair of pull-on pants is really comfy. People who are wearing lag and look like a pull-on pant style. And then also because of the brand, these I wouldn't normally describe as artsy or art to wear. Like if this was by the brand Oh My Gauze, I don't think I would have used the keyword artsy or art to wear, but because that is a keyword I usually use with this brand, I decided to include it. So right here again, it says artsy in my description. I also had art to wear because again, if someone's searching and that's in the description, it'll show up on Poshmark. And here is the brand label if you want to find it. This isn't a brand I hear people talk about too much. The first time I decided to pick up this brand, I was at the bins and I found it new with tags. And if I didn't find it new with tags, I probably wouldn't have looked up the comps on it at the bins, and I did, and it had pretty good comps. And ever since then, I have been picking it up. There's definitely pieces by this brand that don't sell as well. I wish I would have screenshotted it, but I didn't think of it at the time. But there is this one specific shirt that I have. It is like a textured, like I have it in blue and white stripes and purple and white striped. It's like a short sleeve top and it's striped and it's textured. You can go, if you really care, it's in my Poshmark closet. You can like, I have it linked down below if you want to like look at the item. All my See By Connie K pieces sell really well except for these striped short sleeve shirts. So just be careful with that, but in general, it is a great brand to pick up. The next that we're going to go over is this red Valentino black and white tweed ruffled jacket. This brand sits. Okay, so it is red Valentino. When I saw this, I was so excited because I'm like, wow, I just found a red Valentino jacket. Valentino obviously is the main brand. Red Valentino is their diffusion line, so it doesn't sell for as much money, but it's still really expensive. It's still something like I would never buy retail, right? It's still a couple $100s instead of like being over $1,000. This item like sat for a really long time. I listed it in February 2021, sold in November 2021. Like that's not a good turnaround time. It really didn't get much traction on it. There's a few reasons I feel like for this. One, just the brand is not a desirable brand, even though it retails for a lot of money. And secondly, this did not have a size tag, so everything was based on measurements. Originally, I was asking $50 for this. When I got a $35 offer, I just accepted. Like I was just grateful for that because it has been sitting for so long. And I have another piece by this brand, and it is still listed in my closet. I've had this listed in my closet since July of 2020. And the only reason I can think for why it's not selling is just it's very basic, right? I mean, why do you want to? I have it listed at 120. I probably have it priced too high because it's just so basic. Who really wants to spend in the $100 range on a basic sweater? Especially, I feel like if the red Valentino piece had like a V logo on it and it was very obvious it was Valentino or this or that, it'd probably sell a bit better. But because these pieces are just kind of one, they're not super in style, they're not super trendy, and then they're just kind of basic, they're just sitting for a while. So if you find this brand, look up comps again. When I was looking up comps, the accessories seem to do well, like the shoes and the purses seem to do well, the dresses seem to do well. Tops seem to be like their worst performing category, and just basic pieces in general don't seem to do as well. So again, just like see how much your thrift store wants for it. Think about what type of profit margin you want. Think about how long you want the item to sit before picking it up. But don't just think because you see red Valentino that you hit the jackpot and you're gonna make like $500 on the piece. The next sale we're going to go over, and is this the last one? Yes, and the last sale we're going to go over is this Run and Fly yellow gold corduroy bell bottom 70s retro pants. These sold for $38 and they took 2 days to sell. These I had picked up for $3. This is what the logo looks like. I had found this brand once previously, which is right here, and I sold them for $25. And now that I sold these other ones for $38, I really regret selling these for $25. So these I found at a thrift store for $2. And to be honest, I had them in the women's section. So I just thought they were like plus size women's, whatever. I got home, I did research on the brand, and they are men's pants. And I had listed them around, I don't remember, I think it was these like $40 or something. But when you look up the website for Run and Fly, the retail price is really not that high. It's like under $50 for these pants. But the difference is they are made and sold in the UK. I believe it was the UK. I know it's international. I believe it's the UK. So it's harder for people to get them in the US. So people are more willing to spend money on resale platforms because it's just easier. The shipping's cheaper and all those things, right? Like if you're gonna have to pay like $20 shipping to get something from the UK to the US, why wouldn't you just go on Poshmark and pay like the $7 shipping and get a pre-owned one? So these ones I sold right around Halloween time, which is why I took a $25 offer on it. I had never found this brand before. I really just picked it up to see how they would do because I thought they were interesting and cool. And it was around Halloween. And when I found out they were men's, I was kind of like, okay, what guy is going to wear this, right? Because like no guy in my life is going to wear like something like this. But it doesn't mean there's not a buyer out there for something like this, right? There's probably tons of men that are going to wear like corduroy bell bottoms with a damask print all over it. But it was around Halloween. Someone sent me an offer, and I was like, okay, accept. Because I thought maybe someone was wearing it for a Halloween costume. So I just wanted to move them so I didn't sit on them forever. I find them again. I list them. These are a more basic pair, and they sold for $38. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up this brand if you find it. Don't take the low offer. Sit and wait because you can get good money for this piece. And that is all the sales I am going over today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below for more what sold videos. I post them once a week as well as hauls and other fun videos. And I've been posting a lot of ThredUp videos and I have a lot to come because I'm just like addicted to buying ThredUp boxes right now. So yeah, if you guys are interested in all that, subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!